What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to the show. It's becoming my signature catchphrase, isn't it? And it's great. I don't know if I'm big enough to have a signature catchphrase, although I am 6'3", or like pushing 6'4". I tell everybody that I'm 6'4", so maybe that's big enough to have a signature catchphrase. Either way, y'all aren't here to talk or to hear me talk about how tall I am or anything like that. Y'all are here for some top level 1v1 ladder action. We got two of the best in the business here. Jagged Appliance facing off against Swackle on the map Darkfall. So we got Jagged Appliance, he's going as Aeon on the western side of the map, going first land with no adjacency. That's interesting. I'm curious what the thought process is behind that, because I habitually make adjacency a priority, but no matter. As we shift over to the other, his opponent, and that is the one and only Swackle, and he's going UEF, opening first land with adjacency actually to the mass extraction point. So I guess we could do the obligatory split screen as we look at all their various build orders. So Jagged going for some power generator adjacency, I believe. Yeah, those are PGens off of his mexes, give him a little bit more efficiency during that upgrade process. Swackle has a little bit going on with one of his mexes, but not prioritizing it near as much as Jagged is. Jagged's got him on pretty much every single mex. There is a hydro on this map, but neither player electing to walk their comm and actually letting two engineers take the hydro instead of walking their comm to that hydro position. There are some nice little juicy rocks all dotted around this map, and we can see Swackle grabbing some of that lovely, delicious, juicy reclaim and just slurping all that bad stuff up. All that juicy, juicy mass. Have you guys ever chewed on mass? Feeling like it'd be kind of like jerky, or it's a little bit tough, and depending on the jerky you get, it could be very flavorless as well. Next, going into second air there for Jagged, second land for Swackle. It looks like he's going to be going for third air, and that'll be third land as well for Jagged, and fourth land. So no air factory, or no, sorry, that's well, I guess it's like second land slash air with the third land factory on the way. Swackle going for his third factory, and fourth factory is going to be air. So let's go ahead and go back to single screen as we scoot ourselves back to the big screen here, because we got some early aggression coming out. We got a couple of labs here from Jagged. We've got a scout and another scout, and there's a striker and another striker out from Swackle. So different approaches as far as raiding goes. The flare is, I believe, the most powerful lab in the game. So good on the toaster that threw himself into the garbage disposal to get on that one. Have yet to come up with a colloquialism here for Swackle. What would it be like? He swishes and swooshes. Would that be it? Was Swackle going to lose one of his scouts, I believe? So we got some scout on scout action. Obviously the spirit can't shoot for shit, apparently. Must have been one of those spirits from the north or the northeast or California, where guns are frowned upon and you are not brought up learning how to shoot from an early age. Get political here for just a split second. Anyway, yeah, so I've been thinking about like the various catchphrases I'm going to use for some of the pro players, and I've yet to figure out one for Swackle. So suggestions in the comments down below what we could do for Swackle. I'm not sure if Swackle is a reference to anything either. It probably is. I feel like there's all sorts of references that I don't know about. So you got some interceptors tangling. Seem to be chasing one of the toaster's scouts. Oh, there we go. Jagged can be the brave little toaster. Is that it? Is that the winning move right there? Is that the winning catchphrase? Or the winning nickname for Jagged instead of a toaster that threw itself into the garbage disposal? I don't know. I feel like the toaster thing is pretty important, and I feel like we're pretty stuck on that right now. And by we, I mean me and my potential multiple personalities that are casting this game with me. Focusing on the game a little bit more, some of Jagged's expansion engineers got taken out by Swackle. Swackle being very aggressive with his commander, and Jagged not expanding to... He's got one engineer that's going for this southern mech expansion, But Swackle's already got all of his kind of forward mechs expansions, the ones that are immediately available, as you do have to airdrop a lot of these other mass extraction points. And Swackle and I'm really gonna, I feel like there's a rhyme in there somewhere that's gonna bug me all game. Throwing down some point defense up front. He grabbed a couple of mexes. Mech's probably not going to be able to last long enough to pay itself off. I think they need to last about, was it 30 or 45 seconds, something like that, in order to pay themselves off. If you get into if you get nerdy with it like I do. So Jagged's focusing on, well, he's actually reclaiming some of his land factories, or one of them. He's distance building a land factory up here on this northern side, so there's a good amount of reclaim here as far as trees and tree clumps, as well as in these craters. Otherwise, though, he's doing the Aeon thing, you know, just keeping it at arm's distance, trying to do the stick and move thing, trying to be like Rocky against Clubber Lang. I know I dissed on Rocky. The first three are some of my favorite movies, though. I think I dissed on Rocky in the last cast I did. Oh, man. I'm a little tired today. I swam today. So we actually have a transport out from Jagged that's going to be fully loaded with 6 engineers. Definitely went for the Super Size Me upgrade there. He's going to be dropping the northern plateau with that. And I'm not actually sure how this engineer got here. It must be a transport bumping around here for Swackle somewhere. Transport? Somewhere? I have literally no idea how that engineer got there. I do not see a transport. Although I am blind, so that is a real and present possibility that I just didn't see it. And another transport actually, and Jagged actually dropping this bottom position. Doesn't want to take the time to get another engineer to walk out there. He's going to be dropping it instead, which this one's been rough for him to hang on to. I think he's tried a couple different times to grab it. But this northern one does seem to be relatively secured, and he's also going to drop an engineer on this plateau, as well as one on what normally I think would be Swackle's mexes here. Although I have very little experience on this map. I think I played this map once, and I got absolutely crushed. As there's your transport out from Swackle, and he's going to be dropping that southern plateau. Is this a ramp? No, it's not a ramp. Going to be dropping that southern plateau. We got gun range on the way for Jagged. Swackle unupgraded, working with that vanilla comm, swishing around some of that vanilla extract in his mouth. Loving it. Have you guys ever tried vanilla extract? It is not good. It smells really good. It does not taste good. I did not know that until I was about 6, and my mom was making cookies, and yeah, she like had the vanilla extract out. I was like, that smells really, really good. Let me try it. My mom, being almost as much of a practical joker as my dad, not quite. My dad talked me into licking a 9-volt battery whenever I was 8 years old. So but my mom was like, yeah, here, take a swig. And oh man, I've never, it's just like super like potent. As Swackle moving a lot of his T1 forces down to the south, making another transport run here. Jagged with a more aggressive drop, going to drop some Auroras instead of just straight engineers to contest this plateau. And Swackle is going to be able to get one striker off the line, but well, the land factory is actually doing Swackle a huge favor here. All the interceptors are going to park as well. That's a 2-for-1 deal right there against 4. That's pretty good. Land Factory doing a pretty good job of body blocking. Got another striker coming off of the line. And another drop from Jagged. Very intent on securing this southern plateau. And that's going to mean he has some pretty good map control here to work with. As he's going to have both of these plateaus. He is potentially going to have, he's going to have this little valley as well with another mex. He's got This plateau, he's got Swackle's plateau, he's got the northern plateau. Jagged's looking pretty good here as he completes both of his gun upgrades and goes for a chrono dampener. Swackle just now finishing Zeph amp as well. So Jagged going for the what is it, the chrono dunker, something like that. Can't remember what the colloquial name is. I like that word, colloquialism. It's a fun word to say. Try saying it 7 times fast. I'm not going to because I know I can't. But chrono dampener about halfway done there for Jagged, and we actually have a scout down here that's going to get reclaimed by an engineer. Good heads up play there from Swackle. And this land factory that we saw earlier from Jagged has just been cranking engineers, getting a lot of that reclaim. If you guys don't know how to make this kind of reclaim order, it's pretty easy. You just have your, I don't know if he still got it set up. Nope, he does. So you just attack move out of the factory. So instead of right clicking a rally point, you're going to hold, I believe it's Alt, and then you're going to set your rally point, and that'll have all of your engineers move out of the factory, and it gives them, they'll move to a specific point, but they get hugely increased reclaim range, as you're seeing right here, as these engineers in this crater reclaiming through the crater walls and grabbing these trees. So not only is the brave little toaster not an environmentalist, but he is also a magician as he is reclaiming through the walls of a crater. Jagged under pressure now. Chrono dampener gonna complete though in time. And Swackle should have seen that coming there, as saw Jagged had 2 gun upgrades and was still upgrading. So there's really only one other alternative that you could go for on the UEF commander. And this is really a very good upgrade for dealing with units. As you can see, every time Jagged's commander sends that little wave out, it just EMPs kind of all the units temporarily. Although that might not save him, as Swackle laying into him with that Zeph amp upgrade. Several Auroras though in the vicinity, and now Swackle might be in a bit of trouble. I don't know if he's going to go for, they're going to go for a draw here, as Jagged drops to about 3,000 HP. Swackle at about 6,800, so far more healthy. But Jagged is forced to retreat as he is now below that 2,500 threshold. Swackle gets a nice rank of veterancy there as well, pushes him up into the 7k range temporarily. Now dropping below 6,000 HP again. Both these guys at Tech 2 land, incidentally. We're seeing some pillars, we're seeing some mongees. Starting to see some mobile shield generators coming out from Jagged. And that's a pretty good push there for Swackle. We have a transport showing up here for moral support there for Swackle, as well as a bomber. And Swackle with a Sparky on the front line does have T2 on his commander as well, so he is now starting to spam up some of that Tech 2 UEF triad goodness. Now remember, whenever you decide that you're going to play UEF, you have to sign an end user license agreement that says that you will build no less than 20 triads in a game. So we'll see if Swackle violates that agreement or not. Triads now with a pretty effective exclusion zone here in the middle. We got good area of control here, able to cover his commander with that gun upgrade in T2. Curious if he's going to go for nano and go for kind of a full battle comm there, or if he's going to go for shield or something to really buff his commander up and let him run into the thick of the fray. Mass totals though favoring Jagged at this point. He's about 10% ahead on total mass accrued, and I don't think I need to explain why. He's got a lot more of the map and a lot more mexes. Although Swackle's done a good job denying this position, and he's really fighting tooth and nail for this position as well, and also forcing Jagged to go into oblivions here, which is probably not what Jagged wants to do. Starting to see some obsidians and some blazes come out, some of the more battle units there for the Aeon at Tech 2. But the triad creep is ever encroaching. We're up to 5 triads now in this little main base. We got a shield generator now on the way. Swackle might be dealing with some power problems at this current juncture. No, he's not. He's fine. Saw the shields flickering on and off. Thought he might have forgotten to pay the electric bill the bank was coming to collect. I don't know if the bank actually is the one that collects it. It says it will be sent to collections. That's a pretty unfortunate rally point there for his blazes in range of that triad. Tactical missile launchers now coming out from Jagged. We got some Evan songs, or some Ever songs? Evan songs, okay. So Evan looking to make some music and launch some rockets. I don't know who Evan is, but I'm sure he's a wonderful dude. And Klinkhammer's now coming out here for Swackle. So Swackle is really burrowing in here like a tick on the brave little toaster's backside here, and he is not want to be moved. As Jagged once again lost this southern position, he's going to have to rebuild it again. Though with the Obsidians as well as the Auroras should be able to at least take back this position, but again, the exclusion zone set up from this fire base here in the middle. It'd be very difficult for Jagged to push out before he deals with this. I don't know whether he's going to go for miasmas of his own to deal with the problem, or he's going to focus on Oblivions and try and do a point defense creep. I guess we'll see how that plays out. We do have gunships now, so Jagged up to Tech 2 air. And we'll see if there's any other teching. So Tech 2 land, building lots of shields, lots of power. Fuel that Tech 2 air production. Over on Swackle's side of things, we got Tech 2 land, but no Tech 2 air as of yet, unless I'm missing it. But we got a land factory forward. But nope, this is his only air factory. So working off of one air factory, content to sit at Tech 1. Just wants to spam out interceptors and make sure that there's no hanky-panky, hokey-pokey coming out from Jagged as far as air snipe or being able to mitigate that air snipe as much as possible. That's a bad spot to put the amount of interceptors that you do have, though, as there is flak here. The ascendants are ascending. Alright, so this is probably going to turn into a standoff here for a couple minutes. As the Klinkhammers, 2 Klinkhammers done, we're shelling Jagged's power grid. Jagged going for some miasmas. Very strong Tech 2 artillery, can really eat through shields quite well. But with the initiative that Swackle has at this point, we'll see if that's going to be enough, as he's only just now getting his first one almost done. And that forward shield looking pretty weak. Not sure though if those Klinkhammers... Okay, so those Klinkhammers are focused on that position. Whittling it down. That forward shield nearly about to buckle. This third Klinkhammer now coming online. Jagged also with, I believe those are some shield disruptors. Thought I saw a shield disruptor shot. Might not. Those might just be the Oblivion point defense. Very little going on elsewhere on the map. There's a run by here from Swackle going after the unprotected underbelly of Jagged's economy. As Swackle's shield buckles against the miasma, Klinkhammers do have an opening here. Going to be able to eviscerate the engineers. Second shell. Okay, that miasma is a stray breeze away from being killed. Little attack bomber run. There's flak though there for Swackle. And that miasma now going to go down, as there is movement from the gunships. It looks like one of them is going to be harassing some of the mech's points. We got a couple that are dead already. Swackle responding with some mobile flak. Jagged needs to keep these guys moving. Abuse the mobility. From a mass perspective, Jagged continuing to widen his lead. He's now about 15k mass ahead of Swackle. He just needs to figure out a way to turn that mass into getting Swackle off of his ass here in the middle. Then I think he'll be able to push back, get a little bit of breathing room, but he needs these mechs secured. He needs Swackle out of his face. He definitely needs these artillery dead. And mobile missile launchers are amassing here on the front line. Starting to eat through the newly constructed shield generators there for Swackle. One buzzkill. One buzzkill alone. Betrayed by the commander he loves, and now his only hope in a time of need. I did like the Transformers movies for a while. That was what that line was from. I thought they were funny movies. For a while. They got played out a little bit. Right about Dark Side of the Moon was whenever I started to kind of lose interest. But you know what else? Who else is losing stuff? Jagged has lost a lot of his Tech 2 power grid. Only one lone Tech 2 power generator remaining. Wonder what that's done to his eco. Alright, so he's now bleeding energy. Not at an alarming rate, but at a rate that'll make you want to do something about it. And his doing something is drawing several lines of Tech 1 power generators across his base. But it's not all bad for him. That's one clink hammer down. There are now 5 here, though, in this base. Jesus Christ. As the clink hammers, they could be targeting these mobile missile launchers, but don't really seem to be super interested. I think Swackle more interested in just letting his units deal with them. A point defense, though, still working for Jagged, holding the line. Jagged also forced to turn all the shields off on his Obsidians, which drastically neuter their ability to exchange blows with other Tech 2 main battle units, like the pillars that are being wielded here by Swackle, as well as the Mongoose, which are a little bit more of the damage dealers here. Pillars are kind of the punching bags. You can watch these Obsidians, though. They're just absolutely melting to the onslaught, and Obsidians should not be losing in these engagements against pillars. But power's back. Shields are now coming back for the Obsidians as they eat a ton of artillery shells right about the same time. And Swackle's forward position is still safe. He's gotten rid of the gunships in his back line. And Jagged now seeming to... He's upgrading these factories to Tech 2. Not sure why. Maybe TML? Then why would you need 2 of them? I'm not sure. What's going on up here? You have one factory, it's not upgrading. But also more redundant power up here, so Jagged going for a very spread out power grid instead of the condensed one that we saw earlier that was leveled by the clink hammers. Jagged's lead in the mass game continuing to widen. 17k. Is that 17k? Yeah, I can do math. I can do basic math. That's 17. Yeah. 87 plus 17 is 104. The more you know. But he's got to figure out a way to translate that mass into, again, something that's going to get Swackle off of his doorstep. Swackle, though, actually more mass coming in per second than Jagged as it stands right now. So that could be a bad sign here for Jagged in the near future. As Swackle, I believe, has sounded the horn to charge. That sounded the horn to retreat. Commander is going to be up the front line leading the charge. Tech 2 and Tech 1 units here from Jagged getting overcharged to pieces. Yep. All right. That's not good. His units are now out of position. Where is his commander? Oh, his commander's down here. His commander was potentially responding to a run by. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, Jagged's main base now under imminent danger. So we got pillars, we got mobile missile launchers, we got Mongoose in this mix. Swackle has now moved his commander back. So if Jagged can get his commander into the middle of this, into the thick of things, could work out relatively well for him. And this could be a nice little reclaim gift there from Swackle, as Swackle also getting aggressive on the northern side. Jagged responding with gunships, as well as trying to rush up some Oblivion point defense, as well as some Eruptors. So that offensive, not going to get a whole lot done, but definitely detracts attention from the middle. And it looks like Jagged's going to hold here for the time being. Mass gap is narrowing. We're down to 15. As I think Jagged's commander, one of the only things that are in between his base and his opponent's army. And now he's getting shelled by Clink Hammers. He does have a Tech 2 transport. Ooh. Tech 2 transport. Y'all know what that means. I think our brave little toaster is about to go for a ride. Maybe. We'll see. Right now he's got to deal with these units back here. Oh man, that chrono dampener. So good. Look at how far these Clink Hammers can reach. This is a really good move, and we do have a TML here in the middle that has killed a little over 1,000 in mass value. That TML firing for the air HQ, which is actually very nearly dead here. And this one last missile should do the trick. So that's going to be at least the tech air advantage out of Jagged's hands for the time being. Com's still bumping around back here, but look at the range on these Clink Hammers. Like, that is a pretty nasty area of exclusion and map control there that Swackle is wielding. Gunships still contributing here for Jagged as they're being a pain in the ass. Taking down some mexes. Swackle working with some bombers on this southern side. He actually went for obsidians, I think, out of these factories. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe a drop. But in the middle, Swackle on the offensive once again. This time, Jagged's commander way out of position. And Jagged's base probably going to end up going down here. Just keeping an eye on his commander. With it being down here, he's got to be going for a drop. Of course, I know what he's doing because I've seen this replay, but y'all don't know what he's doing. So we have to leave an air of mystery and wonder and excitement. This Jagged's base gets well and truly eviscerated here. He does have a lot of redundant resources on the northern and southern plateaus, but this is a lot of his production and a lot of his control on the mainland. And I think this is Jagged going for a ride. Where is he going? I wonder. Looks to be going straight for Swackle's base. With some support as well, so he is looking. It looks like he's gonna attempt to bring some obsidians with him. I believe these are obsidians that are loaded on here. Yep. All right, air in position to clear a path. Swackle made, I think, a lot less prioritization there for air and air control. As these units gonna make landfall. I think all of them gonna be able to make it down. Obsidians as well as commander. And we'll see how well Swackle reacts to this. Starting to spam up some point defense. We got a lot of Tech 2 point defense getting created by the engineers that are in his base. Jagged going after the mexes, so Swackle actually had a T3 mex here in his base. Going after that first and foremost. He might not have overcharge anymore though. Okay, no, he's just straight up out of power. So does get the HQ, which is good. Obsidians, I think we're trying to go for the power, and that's where the comm is going next, is trying to take out the power as much as they can. We have another set of transports coming in. One is not, but neither are going to make it down. One's going to land on top of Jagged, and it deals irreparably large amounts of damage. I'm just kidding. It's not that, not the end of the world. All right, but what is your exit strategy, sir? Did some good damage, although Jagged's base is done. He did some good damage, and he does still have these bases at the top and the bottom. But needs an exit strategy. Actually still gonna go for power generators as well. He's trying to bring in some transports, but there is mobile flak here, a couple of skyboxers, so need to be wary of those. He's gonna try and bring his transports in from the north, it would appear, as bombers now harassing the units that Swackle had left in his base, and Jagged ends up going for it here. Commander needs to get on board, and we are out of here. Transport escapes with about half health. But now things have very much flipped, as the map control game seems to now be favoring Swackle, and I'm not sure why, but maybe it's the big red stripe in the middle, as Swackle says thanks for visiting. Swackle should start a travel service. Thank you for visiting my base. We have lots of wonderful amenities. We have lots of mass that is available, a destroyed HQ, several destroyed power generators, so you know our power grid isn't necessarily great, and you'll feel super safe because we have a lot of plasma cannons and rail guns, and more plasma cannons over here. We've got a hydrocarbon power plant, so we are environmentally conscious, and then you can bask in the glory of all of our factories. Just need to get some brochures made that said wish you were here. As Jagged gonna make landfall on his base once again. Tech 1 and Tech 2 army not going to pose a huge threat to this commander at this point in time. Get some great kills with these overcharges. 130 kills, full veterancy on that commander. Not sure if you would expect anything less at this point, how much he's been using his commander, but I think this has now turned into Swackle's game to lose here. As Swackle going for a Tech 3 HQ on the front line, so after losing the HQ in his base, just electing to build one, I guess, where he had the most build power available, which was here, and that wasn't under attack in the immediate time. But he's getting some reclaim. He's now ahead of Jagged en masse, and I think that's going to be very hard for Swackle to throw this one. We'll see. I have thrown way worse. I have just straight up forgotten where my commander was and had my commander get sniped by Mercies whenever I was in this position. And it felt really bad. I cried myself to sleep that night. And the game was in the morning, so that can just, goes to show you how emotionally traumatized I was for the rest of the day. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think. This game is life, man, let me tell you. There is nothing else in life other than Forged Alliance forever. Because it is a forged alliance. You are forging an alliance, and that alliance will last forever if you let it. How many more corny jokes can I fit in here? His Jagged tap dances below. Some of his interceptors, he's going to lose his air control. We now have Percivals on the field, 2 Percivals. couple of flapjacks, couple of pillars, a skyboxer. What more could you want? You have a skyboxer. This dude boxes in the sky. Talking about Rocky Balboa earlier. That dude, skyboxer, I think would put Rocky Balboa to shame. He's like an air boxer, like some anime character. I don't really watch a whole lot of anime, so some anime character that's gonna like jump into the air and then bring his elbow down on your back and then break it across his legs while he's spitting in your face and mocking you relentlessly. Well, and I think that was Jacket's last escape route there. He doesn't have air control anymore though, so we can probably speed this up a little bit. As Percival's close in, does still have chrono dampener. Oh, there are a couple more transports that are coming. A couple more transports inbound. Interceptor's gonna take down one. And there goes the second. Oh, third one coming in. But it's gonna go down too. And doesn't really matter, as that is going to be our brave little toaster sacrificing his life on the cliff, much like the Persian soldiers in 300. And Swackle is yelling, "Oh, let's give him something to drink then." All right. Whew. All right, that was a corny one, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Yeah, check out my subscriptions as well for other FAF related channels. If you like what you're seeing here, you're probably gonna like what you're seeing on the other FAF related channels as well. And I think that is it. We'll sign off there. Thanks for watching. Peace.